the long and winding road that leads to your door.
Friends, 6:45, trying to come live. My yeah, but I don't know. Meji obi phone at the atom. I don't know what is going on, but that is it. So more fancha me say me car say 7 o'clock. I'm into me try I think at this time crowd and can start it very early before 7 o'clock. By internet, you know, my yeah. I have more than 10 gig on my phone data, but at a 4G everything, but boss why I'm fat. My G will be the same network, and I'm a connect here. So Ghana situation, you know, minim say they sit here. Anyway, we are here. Yakase yabana de na yaba, and yakase yebe street yebe set the record straight no so there. Nothing and a bit me damp your spirit because while winning baby a Ghana echo ya and na mene when we sound the alarm bells then and anka yen na ya komapa eje the narrative and anka ye som and I caution government collectively ya me assure senka e bia nkomutu anamon foforo anka ne enye ha na ye nanam what is a Ghana ye debt to your GDP ababontin awote ye wankasa we yemhyew. As I say, we are hovering around 93.5 thereabout. That figure no winning means minim said they are not even accurate. Because government had decided to exempt your friends debt here only to state-owned enterprises in a year no free. There be a call on your TV and I'm a catcher say IMF are making projections about the end of December 2022. Now your debt to your GDP across 104.7%. November no and I create 93 no, but IMF and the World Bank near projection now they will not exempt those monies and I in China buy and I some fan can. So if you go by those you find this session now quantify your debt in those terms by flipping in monies owned by these SMEs and state enterprises now. You know clearly say 104 point something percent or say over, but we are just trying to play nice. These are the realities at home. In this situation and all the economic challenges are saddled with their Brian. I believe say when we started about a year, 2-3 years ago, you're trying to speak passionately, bringing to bear the critical issues and underpinning critical issues. So I driving off the highway. If you they are come paji and then yeti boy a modern a rise above partisan politics kakrabi and then kaya yadwin say be ma yadwin ya adwuma even though party no meka ho bi meka ho na e dia ban no bae but niam ba ko na me no bi a oye de me nipa desani asabi adwen wo metimi. I know what is wrong is wrong, what is right. Nanka yen nyina in one accord. Yetimi a caution ya ban na I'm not sure senka by this time no ene say na be ye eba no na ebinim free so omodo mu yasikafo de ebe ko bia na nka omo after all me di eba say abeka omo a bond holders no unse ene very often individuals are want omo voice in the media say omo criticizing government no ekoka omo no ene omo nyina are in the media space trying to caution government say in a way ni say but esha ase no ana ahia fosika na ekono ene de nobody saw the needs. At least yamfa ya no to conversation no Ghana no na nyina yete ho na yebo right in front of us, not because of anything, because of the decision certain few individuals be free. So by the virtue of the fact they have power, they have political power, and they can do whatever that they want to do and get away with it. But we will be in a way nyansafo na the 2 million aban sha wonsa ade ba akwan say preoccupy your mind and say one, you are operating within the perimeters of a democratic country and there are boundaries. After 4 years o mandate you have to go back for the people to renew. Omo renew ma okra 8 years no enya ade bia you one day leave the office and go home and your legacy will be on the wheels, and people will definitely look through it. Na yehu obra obeboye yenya president bebre, but very often people flipping into the narrative. Why? It's because of the legacy or live ya man for free. That legacy transcend beyond generation. Me nkroma president ne yanwo me, but I have given a lot of testimonies in some of the enam and ne papa oye to leave behind. Sabe at least ni papa kayo. But abaye baby say yede yenya to me ye na enim nyansa de ye pena ye beye wow be kan bibia ne sabe wonnim nyansa wodo wano kokan bia president ankasa will be bold enough to tell you say wonni adwuma ye anasa we naysaya anasa we NDC ni na sefo no. But however we designation be abo portion to obia no obi NDC ni a onya China ni ena obi naysaya onya Cote d'Ivoire ni ena say obi anti government onya we yenyina ni yeyem ena yepe. That is why obi are trying to add his voice to the conversation, because obi na ye kono na obi anim. I know majority of people who voted for Nana Akufo-Addo. I have a lot of friends I'm child there in some of the universities. Some are professors, some are doctors. You see clearly say that disappointment on one kasa feeling, because this is not what they bargained for. They thought at least the government then was doing things as a bit na enshadam fa kwamun to no mo kotwa ba mo bia obeba we making it better. Basana ye ton ye color TV akwakoto black and white in the screen as ya pie crossing aka ho, because they came purposely with a particular agenda. The agenda is to ye baba serve ye when you serve yourself so well, and everybody else can go to hell. And today that hell is what has been brought right in front of us. A culture say wherever in the world you go and you find your friend is saying sustained bad governance, you can't exempt yourself. You are not a victim. Nobody is innocent. We are sponsors and accomplices, because of hypocrisy in us. We decided to zip our mouth and watch some of these things. Air koso. Nema asi kromano. Senka buying for frubina yes animana. Me so senka be a hell a breaking loose kroma saying. But people have decided to zip your mouth and watch the world to go on. And Data Bank of Ghana, Ediaba. I think that we can go straight away. There is no need to wait for anything. Let's go right away. Data statistics every Bank of Ghana eba catcher and said Ghana, your debt to your GDP now rises to a whooping 93 point. Your friends saying over bare 9%, 93.56%. What is Adiana? So your Uma William show. And you see, Mahu certain flimsy excuses by certain individuals. What they do, they say, oh, if you go to United States of America, or more debt to GDP, and almost 100%. No, people be mentioning big economies. You see, these are narrow, way of running away from the bigger problem. You can never, on your right senses, connect and I say compare Ghana's economy to that of the United States of America. America economy, the structure babia ekaho, and then the nature is totally different from America, different from Ghana. And they say America is totally different, because you see this is a country in service every day, everything, because Nemobia run and the base of the economy is so large. They do a lot of things, and America issue money to countries. They go into a lot of things. So you can never America no deka krana the debt ebe over 200% of it. The GDP are still America's economy was 1,000 times better than that of Ghana. So debt to GDP na mo amonam your friend say Google na internet so America crowd to say, then you go on radio and you spew this garbage, an attempt to your friend say flip the narrative just to make the situation look good. In the sub-regional economy is totally different. Most of the debt are even insecurities over there. So you cannot compare the base of Ghana's economy to that of the United States of America. America is into a large scale and full scale production. On one casa, majority of the things they use there, they manufacture themselves. So the economy is fully assured. So on daily basis, money in the system will keep coming. And there are a lot of people who invest there. all the big companies and the export and then as a foreigner, yes, you can trust them. Normal, yeah, different what the bahanya the kitwa. So nobody on his right senses will sit somewhere and say, hey, America need Japan debt to a GDP or call Google Abushima and then you're high into for that Ghana. No, you are buying certain redemptive pill for yourself. Say, oh, everything is cool. Everything is not cool because the nature of those economies are totally different. It's the reason why in Ghana, I didn't know you call bond market in your floaty way obianto. But would that ever happen to America? These are some of the fundamental questions that because the base of American economy, the nature and the structure, everything is totally different from our economy. So nobody on his right senses will make those unwitty argument or those unwitty justification. The reality is Ghana, ye free baby na yeba baby. Abraham modi ya kache ya wipe the slate flat for us and now we thought at least enka even though ebo bosia kra it will be a bit sustainable. But ya ba do era certain few individuals free say the obiaba can be anasabi ayensem former omo. Because when this borrowing spree started, people were borrowing as if say sabi adrene mukopawa yes atete country omunjeno. There were people in academia who sounded the alarm bells. Some professors, they were name calling and as a for them. Some of us were always on TV trying to tell the government to slow down on the offense and the borrowing power nano or the corner. But none of these things and that obi atiye. And I tenase ahwenya mianim abobosia ba ama aban baako within the space of 6 years. Bosia ononko abono and then across 60 to over 70% of our entire public debt adayin. Because common principle say comes to governance in one of American president can say no generation should ever borrow monies more than they can pay for. No generation must ever borrow amount of money that generation cannot pay for, but have to be left over for other generation to come and pay. That is the point we are. This generation we cannot pay. The next generation will not pay, and it you pass it to even no. This particular reckless decision some few individuals are taking in a impact on them when it becomes their turn to run this particular country. Because baby we are saying do no be any a kabechow. So those of you who over the week start here pa mo channel for music and chow and Ghana yet transit to middle income country no. Those countries na first na low income no mama isika do grant and as a form no. At this point those monies and those freebies no and that is why we do that stage you get a ticket to go to the capital market, to the commercial market to raise bond and then as a form ya can for that buy obetom no. Now then say scano uko fruit na the manwa unko tiada. So akwana shasi bobosia floaty within a short period of 4 years near the 11 billion Africa country being hold me as idea no be because of mediocrity and narrow certain narrow appreciation for politics in na ye budget so na ye kinky party na media were covering with joy happiness ya ko floaty bond because abina is popular. They were telling us even John Mahama abina and popular intino floaty within we no monton or moon floaty within 24 hours. But if you are raising the coupons high, why them pay? So floaty bond out there. Now coupon rating is very high because my culture say among all the investment among for a stock in the bond, they are risk free bond. Because you are assured of your friends' earnings at the end of the day. For coupon rating, they are fixed. Until say we don't say the in some form, say change coupon rate because of the economy. So everybody will come. These are things we celebrated in this particular country. Tenasia bobo bosia sama and cannot try your to the same your debt to your GDP no. They are not able to flip in all the numbers. And today I'm going to give you all the numbers. That will tell you say a debt to GDP figures na way for a country, Bank of Ghana is a World Bank and making projections say by the end of 2020 December no ebeduru 104.7 no. It's true because one, debt na babonte Bank of Ghana dia babonte no, a car state owned enterprises edeno ya bonyansa kwan so yi sa aka ne nyina afiri ba maka tro say cocoa board at the car sa aka ne nyame maame ne betua na nyame papa ne betua na nya wo na wo betua e Ghana banka. So to the external creditors, whoever doing the rating, will compute those figures and put it as government debt. Cocoa board to way a car and many company because in the Yabushi and Chenny and to the deputy CEO, deputy the bank and a certain structure. You did try your hoka. And the company is not making profit. You can go and check from Cocoa board. The last time we meet make a positive gain our cocoa board. Nipa nyanhunya nsam hu say this particular way is way sabi we need to do certain restructuring. Now your position in such a way is at least a bit very lucrative. No. Yentua ya hoka. So cocoa board kwa kobobo sinya ye floaty bond na ye say sa no mugumu sa de bobo sinya sa anti and eka. The last time I checked, sike egu amo konso somewhere around 16 billion. Sa kawe American yi enka kana babonten no ho aban no yemfanka ho enti na benye 93 no. So you can imagine bosia cocoa board abo nyina ye de copy ade we se be sen ma wo wi mfi eye esla ye de akwakoje bosia eka eye Ghana ka enka ho bi get fund ye de get fund akwakoje bosia that particular get fund money no enka ho bi ena na no China for ya yesi akwaje o musika sika obi animba bi a ewoyi media mekaya ne se ye de kosi ye fa ekwan ye da pillars watermala se ye interchange adna kwa hwe a asefem. That is the only dividend that I can proudly say make me appointed to say Sino Hydro no ebia ye de kosi yara ya kwan to pillars watermala baby and so quite na mama from Pomachi sa ka twitwiri no e ka ye debt e ka ho bi ba Ghana ban asada ayin sa ne man nyina frim energy sector we ne na se for there were time na even some IMF ne Bank of Ghana a World Bank and Ghana ban were fighting over what constitute public debt and what does not, because over the years no mudo munim ni say aban bia babia whenever they are calculating their public debt na they flipping all those things but kendoforia tane ni nkrofo nam say omunim de omo ba be yenti no they have deliberately leave those things out just to make the figure look very small, but a look small crown and 93.7. So you can imagine sasike ya make nyina ye de be boom na yese di be gu Ghana triswa ye debt to a GDP no ye nya ba bia anything na all the credible rating agencies na tana say we say o mine nyo serious and I mumpani for nye serious because kwana ye nam so at least you might want us to see certain initiative by abine na ku for ados at least you see obi antan no, but sometimes some of the decisions are you taking what in China wo dwene ho a na sabi wani mu bai kakra wadwe mu do a you'll be worried. Because as I sit here, I don't see any single intervention by government. I'm not being cynical. I am not. Nothing. I'm just being objective. Say a dear bench share any deal apart from CHC IMF. Your energy na na debt restructuring everything na we zero into the fact we want to create fiscal space for IMF to give us 3 billion. The Ghana manya that way. The year pre-kobai nyina na dachi nyina and say until when people come on TV and they are talking IMF negotiation there cost na say for no be sound say about amount to the and there are some people who are saying so it will give other creditors certain confidence to come say IMF maisikana. Yes, that may be true, but that may not be entirely true. Why? Because if you are bold enough to go to your external creditors now catch almost say chale bosiana ya je no de he ene momo aye no yentimi ntua and as I speak to you so we had the composition of Ghana your public debt na aduru 575.7 billion Ghana cedis. Akufo-Addo befa kano na enam 121 in 2016. That was the point at Mahama Livu, no, and they were calling him names. He was borrowing recklessly. He was insensitive to the plight of Ghanaians. And then I said, Makase, anyaphe, those times, so what two anywhere kuruma, anyaphe, you will see something a best sweet. You say, oh, a bino bobo say at least. Mahuse, yasi Legon Hospital, Mahuse, yasi Reg Hospital, all new, and several other infrastructure undertaking, like Oko Circular, whether the project and things there. Give you as value for money or something, that is another thing to be discussed. But the fact is that those things are there. And Ababeduru over 570 something. So you can confidently say within this amount, over 400 billion and Ababeshim. Now, you can't say me time will be. Over 400 billion Bosnia and Ababeshe medal ho baby. And Obia Miana no Kroma Safi because I want a Akufo-Addo. He's one of us. So and just imagine say Mahama and the Tiako Miasan Kwakobosa Bosnia we are and Kagana ha. Nka a macra the bayer nyom our monam in so kwan so ankombeto. That is the hypocrisy on our part. Yaba Ghana debt arise to say we are not asking questions why we got there, why the numbers are increasing significantly in as a form. Yes, it's borrowing, but sikana devalue no and so can be. But says sike devalue and yame papa responsibility so must see the so because they assured Ghanaians, they promised. Bawumia was confidently out there telling Ghanaians, oh, they know how to bring the economy. They know how to tame the dollar. And then, look at the dollar. Very embarrassing. So, it's a dollar rate, add up to your city. Borrowing. It's not a way to buy yourself out because papa na dollar no so. Because it means that you fail to manage the dollar. The reason why at this significant addition, your borrowing numbers. So, you can use it to buy your way out. So the good question is size of government now we were told so mama yina ya mo aban ya mo yen set aban ne kese na at least nyuma no doso. The good question is over the years nyuma no hefa what has been done sa sika kakraka we da hoyi ne nyuma no hefa because my culture says wo he bosia na ya bo ni nyina na the composition of our public debt they are only to external creditors and the external debt in Kwaye over 382 billion. And then I am brutal catcher almost say, Charlie, I didn't intimate you because our sickness had a service debt in Kwan over 50 billion. Ya Jessica Ukruma send a yenya. Send a yenya. Ain't foreign your friends external creditors among all the Sikano Monko fan of more. And I know so in your mind that this kind of ball was an Akasa Okon some fancho. No, a individual seeker. And a Yabwa no commercial market no class anet entities in as a form to no business no ye into Otobond na or Bajinisika and fanche. Capital market in the Fasikanche. First no America will lend you World Bank Bema Benin for those things in the Ombetimi whom mobile or young fancho, but we know dear. For musica and check. It is a Ghana for the musica cut to sort of bond or bind say or Quackofabino, Sanetia, yam fan check because a individual seeker. So nobody is going to pass us any messy card. Sikano po, you will pay. These are the realities. And I yatana say, and a dear cost no crown or sabi, a adesanka ye taking answer decisions are obiting China box. Oh, Uncrofoi. Sabi situation being out for now they tried, they did their best. We are not doing anything. And the government is behaving as if nothing is at stake because I heard the Auditor General's reporter on the COVID-19 fund by how those monies were used. IMF is going to look at it critically and say, oh, so you have all these monies, 21 billion Ghana cedis, and this is how you use it? 21 billion Ghana cedis. And yenya during the COVID period. Yetimiko Buta region, ni yako high, yako lisi dan, yasa adakulu. 15 million. Now COVID-19 eba for just 1 to 3 years, you know. Kwabrani timiko kolisi a dying for 25 years. Say COVID-19, you know, it will stay with us for 25 years. Yako lisi 25 years, knowing very well say COVID-19 is a short period. Ye we are now yafa sika 20 million acquire renovation. Now dina any good state, you know. Why don't you use it to build a new one? There yakra na say we and yansi nyusu and yesenja no okoe. So yen create the avenue yen ko share sika no the betu agun kratam say the ye bibi. That is the attitude I did to say. And the president is never ready to sanction anybody. Nobody is going to jail. Nobody is going to court. So the impunity is like a festival, annual ritual. We celebrate with joy. The difference is that you have media men talking just within a week. COVID-19 is by next week. Won't tell us in the media. This week I'm not sure anybody is talking about it because and it's dead forever. That is how narrow-minded we are as people. We move on to the next chapter. You can within a week, then we caught. Nobody is prosecuting anybody. Nobody is interrogating anybody. So the level of impunity choking the system, no, it keep rising on daily basis. At the end of the day, no, Ghana is sinking because amount of money you lose to Okrumana. Me say senka. They say yetimi standing on our toes to ensure say you better check those things. Me sure senka will be going before IMF begging for a paltry $3 billion. But here we are. Here we are. I'm just trying to break it in a common way so that you understand it. The government is putting no interventions in place apart from CHSC IMF. Apart from that, absolutely nothing. Finance Minister Babisano. Because you say, your friend is saying bond holders. Individual bond holders and then as a forum, you see, those things are just bullshit. Listen, individual bond holders no more can apart from say individual bond. Other bonds no, those monies are owned by people. It just say they are not in individual's name because a bank and a nisika kakota then a bank in nisika yamanfo sika. So one way or the other is the same nipa sika and eguho. So the sort of impact you expect, you know, I be economy is going to be the same thing. Because a bank and AJJ the sika no de toss a mana bank ni sika ya manfo sika. So ni now boils down to the same saying individuals' money. Or those monies are supposed to be in circulation for business to thrive. Then as for we're going to hold it. So the term individual bond holders and then as for these are terms people have just adopted just to seek their way out. Yes, and I understand them. But you now boil down to everything you see there and your individual's money. Everything. Say church in Adia Kotoha, a church in Ada and Yenipa. That is it. So it's just a matter of quining where's a bit more sweetie the narrative just to sweep your way out. That's all. But the fundamental issue is that in the face of all the challenges in the government is doing all these interventions, squeezing your friends, an ordinary person, Musikana, your person, the two and I say, not to solve the problem, just to create space to go back to IMF for the money. And then that will give us a certain reprieve. IMF about. Now say they because it means that there is hope and they think that IMF will try to convince other countries to come on board. But if you look at the Auditor's General report on the COVID-19 proceeds now, it's not encouraging, and there will be no assurance on the part of anybody say or mine do see come on, they will put it to good use. Because I heard what was going on in the formation ministry. In the team can just share money among themselves. Like how? Look at the impunity. Nobody sanctioned it. On one out of his own discretion, you know, can just take money, share it among his people, say allowances because COVID. yetimitam sika over 23 million ya koto working space over the internet for Zoom meeting and as for them a company no na yetu omoka tax withholding tax in as a Ghana de nya no and the Europe enko. How can we do this to ourselves and say we are managing a country and we are winning we are now we general catch ya ho kire yen na yen share the burden? How can people agree with you? How do you expect people to agree with you when you say yen share the burden? Because you are not sharing any burden. You are enjoying luxurious life. People are still taking per diem. People are still taking allowances, monies. You see, nothing has changed in their lives. Because I believe the situation that you mean major contributors, and I think almost share the major pain. Those who were bathing in the skies. Those who were hiring jets. There was a time now you hang a lupre and you pakisi you find saying airport. Ni nyina sika ya bia o ya hang ya jet na ya hang ya see ya hang as ya hunye na bufu say ya kase or hang jet into omkwatame then they park it awo airport ni nyina na etua ho ka day night yetua ho ka a whole resource near, and such a person will have the moral courage to come look us in the face and tell you, say, Charlie, let us share the burden. Come on. How do you expect people to share the burden when this is their life? And winter key, you have not even realized the need to apologize to Ghanaians. And the debt, kwa na ekosoro o man no e say Ghana ka ye chema e say ye nche nso a am say guboto ma won kwa wo ka wontimi nche ena sika na ye wo ka na da wotiri so no. I'm not sure say ye fen say obi kura hu behu say sika no bi da amanfo e boka no gu ye tiri so, and you might see someone and says hemen ka ho oboa wo ye dan wo ka ho bi. Yes, wo ye dan wo ka ho bi because debt a sovereign debt. As far as a winning na property will chrome higher. Now property will chrome our property in which yes I can be. That is the reality. These are the truths I can want them. Now bushing or japade will chroma, even what japade between can be. But how can we contract debtor? Yentimintuya. Look at Nana Akufo-Addo. He's comfortable to go for loans 30 years, 70 years, 30 years. He's not worried. And in the face of all that has happened, Ken Ofori-Atta, who has single-handedly brought us to our knees because the guy decided to take foolish decisions. Because we are here because individuals decided to do politics, go after individuals. Because they thought, say, oh, yabana there, let us put away amount for businesses. Because let me tell you, that banking sector, we never call one of the major contributors. I tell you, menkaza omo banks no omo ye nyankopon krofo no banking sector na say for ope a criminal activities ekopa, it is within the banking sector. Else everywhere, oko UK, oko US, oko Hong Kong, even saying HSBC Bank, you know, the away na man for 10 is a criminal organization. So ope a crime ekopa is the banking sector. Because some of the banks now say I'm robbers ako wi man robbers ako am robber eko wura bank ni ko wi sika wa wotencha na ya but the managers out there no a opportunity more because a cromfo be fa 1 million na obaka cho say 50 million naira na say cromfo no betime be yi wa no. So you see this banking space, you know, a lot of things go on there. So as government, you know, when you are very your friend is well informed, very intelligent, you are dealing with such situation, you understand all these dynamics and you know how to play your cards well. The challenges were identified in the previous administration. But as to whatever say be on to address the situation in India, then the government lost power because I think that quality something review no more no who say banks, you know, here like 9 billion to survive. You know, that is when they do those assessments. So something needed to be done drastically to ensure say individuals no more no obia we culpable obia you deal with the person say court crowd in the court. Then you can go into mergers, acquisition, baby, because my catcher said there is nothing like private bank. Whenever you open a bank, a financial institution, not as citizens or more minor domusika koshema, it is no longer private. Government must have a stake, a compulsory stake in that particular entity, because Ghana for sika neshim. That's what it means. So that is why everywhere say obiko sate bank ninja would yebiem. So any point be as a bank cost sideways, it is the responsibility of the government to wade in to ensure say investors' money will be protected. So what do you do? Like I told you what happened in the United States in 2008. Obama buy, America was teetering, or more recession before the COVID recession. He met similar situation. They came out with the emergency fund, infuse money into some of your friends as I find in my other companies, infuse money into them. More credible, JP Morgan Chase, more credibility. They will give you money, go and buy trouble assets. Some you go into mergers, acquisition, or more. I say directors and I say you charge your money, you charge them, you take them away. Government will also strengthen the policy in the supervisory way, just to ensure say people do not lose their jobs, people do not lose their money. That is what you do. And he said, "Men are set a bank, nasa bank, and who say may you can take me to court, prosecute me, and put money into the bank to ensure that the bank will be stabilized." And I say you can even there are a lot of things. Those of you within in economics and as if you understand some of these things. Those of you in banking and as if some of the interventions we could have employed to save the situation, because America 2008 example became very successful. Some of the companies are now thriving very well. Americans are working there. And some of the crash I say make gains in the Nasifonum. We could have adopted similar situation here when you realize shareholders in one nebano and omodisicanu dim kwasadia abayano, you can bundle all of them, prosecute them, you can jail them. But you don't kill a bank. You don't dare kill a bank. But enam abroad na no assessment they didn't do any proper assessment. Yet they patapani where you go a bank. They killed a man for bank. Now we kill a bank and now officer papa kwesindum na wukuno. No. A man for musika na modi businesses. Because okoma kola sikana na man for the digan do na na flu eba. And several other banks. Those minor banks no mame a oton bayira wo techment bem. Eko your friend is saying Eco Bank so ko bebosia ya ma no. Cause okokra na ehwe na ase abekasa, but other smaller banks will give them money, and these are people omotime boama the economy no a tribal. So if you kill those banks now, take it away, it is a significant portion of your economy, and our kill no. So the growth in the economy no, don't expect it. After all, the banks na ya live and all the banks, big banks na between and then all of them are owned by foreign entities. At the end of the day, all their monies will live in this particular country. The money is not living in dollars. So EcoBank or Nadia Co, ABSA or Nadia Co, Nigeria for maybe a bank or Access Bank or all of them will take their monies away. The telecommunication industry is the same thing. MTN New York Nisika away. So I know the day these companies require putting further pressure on your friend is saying, but Papa was in domain as for no year movie music and Sakrumaya Neka. So more trouble or be a cause of fraud and as if take the individual, jail them and leave the bank. These were options that were available for Kendo Foriata to take. And you see not for all the banks, and trouble to be solvent, they just needed 9 billion. And you spent a fortune of 21 billion to kill a bank. Now we should share the trouble. You see, some of us sometimes if you don't understand the issues in the past, now over 250 na ya can just when I'm sorry and your casa no be pet. And no bin time obi and I know be to baby who and call mine on cobo or mine or body any benya free. But the realities in the say Nemana ya calling you na a ye deliberate nipper bit tenacity and a share and a diababon thing. And you go banks, yegu bank ne yesa amanfo adwuma na omo sika nso no kokoye ede kokodi dwa no omo nso adwuma ebo omo ya saa na ya folded that part of the economy. So the economy is not pulling. Ochichi revenue, you will not meet your target. Go and check last year. Revenue yeah. So you will not meet your target and definitely no will impact on the economy. So these are some of the decisions the guy took. And again, absolutely nothing to show for with this huge sums of money. Because my counsel said if 2016 thereabout, now your public debt around 121 now your catch was 570. In the winning mathematics, in the middle, you know, say 400 billion if we find a buyer within a short space of 6 years. Now, 400 billion, and where do you have? That is a question you should be asking. Don't tell me free SHS. Don't tell me free SHS. Because you cannot use it to justify this. You cannot see the money. Individuals are getting rich and richer. Now they are seeing to win public confidence. Every amount for them who be shame debt restructuring there because there are people who are willing. So that's why they are seeing no, don't worry, we are willing. But as far as Ken Ofori-Atta is still hovering around, he's still masquerading at the corridors of power, playing finance minister. No, that trust. You cannot enlist the trust of the public. Nobody will bring his money. Investors will not come. So what is the big deal for Akufo-Addo to take away Ken Ofori-Atta? What is the big deal? Because he doesn't respect anybody, he will not listen to anybody. Because to him, he prioritizes family above any other thing. And in some Ghana for including his own party people admonishing him on the need to take away that guy. He's not willing. He's not. He doesn't care. So the guy doesn't care about the current state of the economy. He doesn't. All that he cares for is playing president. That's all that his interest playing president. Or mind about Bokra on Fahon. Because that is the trajectory and truly Ghana no bo. Because Babi on mind about no, it will take years for us to recover. It will take years. Because some of the money is now which means that we are not going to pay those monies or no number so no waiting chamber between which whoever takes on, then you inherit troubles and challenges. Unprecedented. And he doesn't care. That is why sometimes I pity me pity ya hundi pasa se be nim nyansa ana ya nyina na de nyame nkrofo ne nyame nkrofo. So when people go against the law, we don't punish them. So the impunity will continue to fester. But unless say a better example, you see, it's not about being vindictive. It is not about going after a political opponent which hands in and say for them. It is about saying setting the record straight. Some of the decisions taken like the banking sector, your friend is saying clean up their course, say 9 billion could have saved the situation. The motivation for using 21 billion to kill those banks, you come and explain. Simple as that. If you are not able to, you go to jail. It's as simple as that. No, such nonsense. When it comes to those things, you don't. My culture say, if a state want to be a state and survive, we don't show mercy, you don't show weakness. Whenever a state shows weakness, it sends signals to the citizens that hey, you can mess up. Such nonsense will bring to bear impunity. That's why I'm telling you, sir, we need a president. You are very ruthless but very pragmatic. You know the fine lines between what constitutes morality and what constitutes public good. So when you are taking decisions, you have no doubt or whatsoever on your mind. Me do ko jail, and now forever I will never regret because I know, sir, I'm doing this based on something. By now, at the end of the day, we are not serving any. We are not like it's not. How do you call it? Deterring enough. other democracies are using through no. There are consequences for actions. There are consequences. President to resign, even the almighty America. People come, you mess up, you leave the place and you go. The last time I was telling you about your friend saying Spiro Agnew from Maryland, who was your friend, a senator. He was your vice president to your friend saying Nixon. Abrana oya senator of Maryland na ansana Orban no omo kwahwe na chia hu say aga na wo ho na oyibedi tax nema we bido ha wanye ne ye. He was compelled to resign, vice president of America. That is one of the biggest positions you can ever think of, but he had to leave it. By 1 year after, President na nkasa aye Nixon na nkasa had to resign because of Watergate. He also left. And somebody who has never in his life dreamt of becoming president incidentally became president. So let us show that there are consequences for actions. Say your opportunity to be in power. It's not a take it to your friends to we yet. If we don't set those parameters and we continue fooling ourselves like such nonsense, such impunity will never end. How can we have this Auditor General report right sitting in front of us and nothing has been done? Even our neighbors, some of the African countries, Auditor General report in the bar, the president will address the nation, take the friends and decisions, ordering people to be prosecuted, ordering people, because that is leadership. That is leadership. That is leadership. Because my culture say you're president, that's a crow for our no, they have no fear for you. You are as useless as anything. Yes, almost say no, but obianim the boundaries, obianim the limit. We don't have that here. We don't have that here. So there are no consequences. A man for will go against the law. Will you see impunity reigning like your friend is saying water? The media trying to wade into that particular thing, urging state institutions to come and at least do certain preliminary investigation to establish merit or otherwise in that particular situation, as you know. Because in a political setup, some of the allegations they're not supposed to be entirely true. Somebody have to, your friend says, stir the waters. Somebody must investigate to authenticate or otherwise. That is what you do. But at this stage, at the end of the bar, the president who is supposed to lead the way, the president who is supposed to be, he will come and clear the person, and then they will get away with it. So at the end of the day, impunity will fester. How can we do this? So the Auditor General report will come, knowing very well, say, among for we are womb, and like, I don't know, Papa Wibaye, he's not charging anybody. He will tell us, hey, this thing should do time and recover it. Because of the president. Because not Domlivo as charge a man for. He was booted out. And it was at the back of that particular thing that he was brought in. So definitely no, he knows very well, say, Okoyas Hanya man so no Juma Babon, so ma catch them more, the Mbayabia. How can we move on? And we sit here and pretend nothing has happened, and you think America and other countries, will take us serious? When you know very well, said these monies, these are how decided to just blow the money just like that. On the one breath, yet IMF for any abunku to ye poor mocho chale, ye sramo economy no. Then they will look at the Auditor General's report on the COVID-19, then they will know how we use those monies. Your timid is a carbon think or talk. Your friend is saying, vaccine. Ye hearing you about your tuning in our car to 16 million, your friends saying doses in the normal bread 5 million. They are car. Charlie, you wish you much of after some reports in the banner, then you hear those various explanations and a code change way, and look, just say the absurdity is so nauseating. So, on my mind, the only way out of this particular misery, and they say, yes, I'm Bobo Senior BM. Yes. So, Makacho said, what we are doing, how we are managing the economy is so tiring to the stand. It is a yade your friend is saying so your friend saying I don't know yedi no spoon. Yadi spoon amount suffer digi one kasa wo grave we are your kum na yasen sie wom. You can imagine using a spoon to dig your own grave 6 feet. You know how tiring it is? We are dependent on that is what we are doing. We are digging our grave with a spoon, a teaspoon.